Hello everyone, my name is Abu Bakr Salim and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about loops in C language. Loops are structures that are used to iterate the statements or a part of program several times. Whenever we want to repeat something again and again, we can do it with the help of loops. And there are three types of loops. The first one is for loop, the second one is while loop, and the third one is do while loop. The purpose of all the loops is same, which is to repeat something some specific number of times. But the only difference between these three loops is the syntax. Suppose we want to print first 10 natural numbers. How will we do it? We can do it by writing a very simple program that is present on the screen right now, in which I have used a printf statement, and in that printf statement I have written numbers from 1 to 10. But what if I want to print 1 million natural numbers? Now this is a very big task, and I cannot do it by writing numbers again and again from 1 to 1 million. So there must be a way to do it with a better, efficient way. And to do it in an efficient way is by using loops. So in this tutorial, we are going to discuss all the loops that are present in C language, and we'll be discussing different examples to understand the concept more accurately. So let's get started. So the first loop that we are going to discuss is while loop, and we'll be discussing the syntax of this loop, and we'll be also discussing multiple examples to understand the concept. So let's suppose we have to print the sequence from 1 to 10. So this is the sequence that we want to print. So whenever we are dealing with loops, we have to do some things in the beginning. The first thing that we have to identify is the starting point of the sequence. So whenever you are implementing a loop, there must be a starting point and there must be an ending point. So in this case, the starting point is 1. So what you have to do is you have to create a variable. I'm going to create a variable and I'm going to name it A, and I'm going to assign it the starting value of the sequence. So whenever you have to print a sequence or whenever you have to implement a loop, you have to identify the starting point and you have to you have to assign that starting point to a variable. Now you have to use the loop. So I'm going to use while loop, and the syntax of while loop is pretty simple. You have to first write the keyword, and after the keyword you have to specify the condition in this bracket. So that's the second thing that you have to identify in this sequence is the ending point. So the ending point in this case is 10. So you have to specify this 10, which is the ending point, in the form of condition. So we want to print the numbers from 1 to 10, and we want to repeat the loop until the value of A is less than or equal to 10. So I will be specifying it in the form of condition. A is less than equal to 10. So this loop will repeat 10 times from 1 to 10. And what I want to do is I want to print this sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For that, I'll be using printf statement. So I'll be printing the value of A 10 times. So now when I will execute the program, you will see the output. The output will be printed on the screen. But what happened here? The loop is repeating, but it is not stopping. And one more problem is that we can see here is that the value of 1 is not increasing. So I have stopped it myself. Now I have to do one more thing. In this sequence, you can see that value is initially 1, then it has changed to 2, then it has changed to 3, and so on. It is changing by 1 unit. So you also have to identify that how much the value of that variable is increasing. In this case, it is increasing by 1 unit. So after printing the value for a, we have to increase it by 1 unit, and for that we are going to use increment operator, which is a plus plus. So now you can see when I will run the program, a sequence will be printed in front of you, and it will start from 1 and it will stop at 10. So now you can see the output on the screen. So once again, let me repeat the concept. The first thing that you have to identify whenever you are dealing with the loop programs is you have to identify the starting point, you have to identify the ending point, and you have to identify the gap between every number, every preceding number. Okay, in this case, the gap was 1, so I have used a plus plus. What if the gap is 2? Let's suppose I want to print the odd numbers from 1 to 10. So the odd numbers between 1 and 10 is 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Now you can see the starting point is 1. So the condition here is going to be the same, which is 1. The ending point will be changed to 9. And in this case, the gap is also going to change. So we will write a is equal to a plus 2 to increase the value of a by 2 units. So now when I will execute the program, you'll see the sequence of odd numbers from 1 to 9. The output is going to be 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. One more thing that I want to tell you here is that this variable a is known as loop controlling variable for this while loop. This variable is controlling the iteration of this loop. This loop determines how many this variable determines how many times this loop will be repeated. So we call this variable a loop controlling variable. Okay. Now the second loop that we are going to discuss is for loop. So once again, I'm going to print the same sequence, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I want to print this sequence using for loop. So for loop, we can write the keyword for, and in this for loop, we specify the loop controlling variable within the loop. So in this statement, loop statement, so let me do it for int I is equal to 1, which is the starting point. We also specify the ending point in this loop statement, which is I is less than equal to 10. And we can also specify the iteration here as well. So now you can see in this loop, for loop, we can specify all the things in single loop statement. And what I want to do in this loop is I want to print the value of I. So now when I will execute the program, the output is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. If I want to print first 100 natural numbers, I'm just going to change the ending point, and the output is going to be from 1 to 100. So that's the benefit of the loop. You can repeat a statement 10 times, you can repeat a statement 100 times, and if you want, you can repeat the statement million times. Some more things about loop, for loop, is that instead of specifying the loop controlling variable here, we can also do that outside this for loop. But in that case, we have to keep this space empty, and we have to put semicolon to separate this position with this condition position. Similarly, we can also specify this I plus plus within the body of the loop. Okay, I have, just give me a second. Yeah, I plus plus here. So this will also work fine. Now when I will run the program, you'll see the output on the screen. Similarly, let's suppose I want to print first 10 even numbers from 2 to 20. So in this case, the starting point is going to be 2. The ending point is going to be 20. And the gap between every number is 2. So I is equal to I plus 2. Okay, there is a problem here in the statement. I is equal to I plus 2. Now when I will run the program, you'll see the set of even numbers from beginning to end. So let's discuss another example with for loop. Let's suppose I want to add numbers 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to 10. So I want to add the sequence, the numbers that come in the sequence from 1 to 10. So such type of programs can also be solved with the help of for loop or while loop or do while loop. So here again, we'll specify the starting point. So in this case, the starting point is again going to be 1. The ending point is 10, so I is less than equal to 10, and I plus plus is going to be here. So what I want to do in this program is I want to find the sum. So for that, I'm going to create a variable sum is equal to 0, and I am going to add the value of I, which initially is going to be 1. Then after one iteration, it will be 2. Then it will be 3, and so on up till 10. So I want to add sum with I, and I want to store that in sum again. And we want to print the output. So the output is printf sum is equal to percentage. Now when I will run the program, the output is going to be sum of first 10 natural numbers, which is 55. Similarly, if I want to add first 100 numbers, in this case, the output is going to be sum is equal to 5050. So you can also check it on the calculator if you want to verify whether the solution is correct or not. The last loop that we are going to discuss is do while loop. Once again, the purpose of do while loop is same as while loop and for loop, but there are two differences. The first difference is of the syntax, and the second difference is that do while loop always execute one time. That will be discussed shortly. First of all, let me discuss the syntax. So I created a variable. In this, we use a keyword do, and we specify the condition at the end. So let's suppose I want to print first 10 natural numbers. For that, while I is less than equal to 10, and printf, and we are going to print percentage %d, and we are going to print the value of I. Now when I will run the program, our program will be executed, and again I have not specified the increment. So now when I will run the program, the output is going to be from 1 to 10. So the difference between do while loop and while loop is that while loop first tests the condition, then execute the statements. On the other hand, do while loop will first execute the statements and it will test the condition at the end of the program. So let's suppose if the condition is false here, let's suppose the condition is I is equal to 0. Okay. Now the condition is false, but still the, the loop will be executed once because the condition is tested at the end of the program, at the end of the loop. So the loop has executed at least once. So do while loop at least executes one time. On the other hand, while loop first test the condition. So if I have written I is equal to 0 and I want to print the value of I percentage %d, and let's write I here. Now when I will run the program, since the condition is false, program will display nothing on the screen. So I hope that you have understood the difference between while loop and do while loop. Do while loop at least executes one time, but while loop first test the condition. If the condition is true, then it will be executed. Otherwise, it will not be executed. So these are the three loops that are present in C language, and we'll be using them a lot in different programs in future. And it is very important to learn this concept, because if you want to learn about arrays and if you want to learn about other things in programming, then this is the very important thing. The loops and the decision making statements are very important, and these statements will help you to develop logic, and it will also help you to increase the problem solving ability. So I would recommend you to learn these concepts and to give these concepts as much time as you can. So we have discussed about for loop, while loop, and do while loop. And if there is any question related to any loop, or if there is any question about syntax or about the programs that I have discussed, you can ask me in the comment section. And if you have liked the video, please press the thumbs up button and please subscribe the channel. Thank you so much.